Hi, welcome to the channel. The weather outside is frightful, so today we're back in the workshop. Hopefully we're going to solve some of the little niggly jobs that need doing on the Scimitar and get it one step closer to being back on the road. Okay, the first job is to take this wheel off. We've obviously got a puncture. I don't know whether it's a slow puncture or a leaking valve. So we'll get this wheel off, we'll pump it up, and then we'll have a little play and see if we can find the leak on it. Right, now the tyre's inflated, let's have our check, see if we can find out where this leak is. First of all, I'm going to check it for invisible screws or nails. Doesn't appear to be any. No, not as far as I can see. Slight perishing in the sidewall, but not enough to make it go down. No damage on the inside. Right, squirt a bit of water on it, see if we can find any air leaking out. Do the valve first. Oh. Turn it on. There we go. Right, and the rail valve. Leaking air there. No. Right, let's go around this bead. Okay, absolutely nothing. Okay. Well, I can't find the leak. Right, let's stick it back on, we'll leave it overnight and see if it goes down again. Right, well the tyre went down overnight, so we're going to have to take that off again, re-inflate it, and then when the wife is out, I'm going to go and dunk it in the bath and see if we can see it leaking when it's fully submerged, because that's going to be the only way. Right, I'm going to have to be quick, otherwise I'm going to get in trouble for the wife. She'd absolutely murder me if she saw what I was doing. Right, let's see if we've got any bubbles anywhere. I can't see anything anywhere. Oh shit. Well, I can't find the leak. Ooh. On closer inspection, we've got a lot of perishing cracks right in between the tread, and the tyre is dated 2017. So I think I'm just going to go and buy a complete set of tyres for this. That way we can forget about it, and while the old ones are off, I can get all the wheels polished up and get them refurbed as well. Right, I better clean this up before the wife comes home, otherwise I'm going to be in right trouble. Okay, that's the front wheel back on. In the process of tightening up and then lowering it back onto the floor, I noticed that the wheel kinked outwards a little bit. So I've got a sneaky feeling we've got a bit of a suspension issue here. So we've jacked it up again. It's going to have a bit of a wobble, see what we can see. Oh yes, upper control arm bushes are completely shot. You can hear that. There's that much play in it. Right, we'll check the other side out, but obviously we're probably going to have to do it in pairs anyway, because there's no way I can drive that on the road. That's awful. Okay, right, let's check this side as well. Yeah, there we go, just as bad. See more play at the back on this one. Right, the next task is to figure out why we've got melting rear lights. For some reason, the bulbs on this are almost touching the lenses. So if they're on for any length of time, the plastic is becoming very soft to the point where you can almost put your finger through it. So if we get a little bit closer, you can see what I mean on this rear lens. Right there, you can see the bulb where, oh, look at that, it's cracking now. And the same on there. We've got the same on the other side. I'll go across to that one. Again, here you can see it quite clearly. If I take the lens off, I've already undone this one. There we go, look inside. There you go, you can see where it's melted. Right, there's nothing obvious. Now, I wonder if this is an OEM lens or whether it's an aftermarket one. Something stamped on it. There we go. Nurtex. Is Nurtex the original one? I don't know. I have no clue. Nothing appears to be amiss in there. Wonder why this is melting. Yeah, surely if that fits in there, it does, and you put a rubber seal in there, then that, around the right way, will not push in all the way. So perhaps that's the issue we've got. No rubber seals, which means that is pushing in and then the bulbs are touching it. And now let's have a look on QRG and see if we can find some seals for this, or indeed whether they even had them. I suspect they did though. I think that might solve that issue. Right, put the bolts back in before I go and have a little search and find out. Well, hopefully that was an easy fix. Oh, okay, we're going to need another lens, or at least that gluing in. As you can tell, there we go, it was the bulb, push that out. And I'll tell you what, let's take it out again and leave it, it's only going to fall off. The next job is to have this rear wheel off. We've got a leaking brake again. I put a wheel cylinder on it, it hasn't done any mileage, but in the process of jacking up and doing the fuel lines, we saw that it started weeping again. So whether I haven't seated it quite squarely, I don't know. So we'll have that off and have a quick look. Right, before I go and take this rear wheel off and have a look at this wheel cylinder, I'm not entirely convinced that we've got a leaking brake in the first place. Now we look at the reservoirs, they are completely full, and considering the amount of fluid that had gone across the workshop, that one should at least be empty, but it's not. So why do I think it's the rear diff? Well, I know I've got a leak on the rear diff somewhere because the back casing is completely wet, and you can see here on the discoloration on the floor of my workshop the amount of fluid that came out. Now, we did have the car jacked very high on one side so we could do the fuel lines. So I've got a sneaky feeling the fluid is actually diff oil, and it's come out and it's travelled all the way down the axle, and then I've just gone and assumed it's the rear brakes. So we need to have this up in the air, take the wheel off and confirm that the brakes are working. All right, let's take a look at this brake line. It looks absolutely bone dry in there, but the only way we can really test it is to give the brakes a pump and see if we have got a leak there, but I'm pretty sure that was all right. Let's have a go. All right, let's go and pump these brakes and see if we've got a leak. Brake pedal's really hard. It's not going to the floor. Let's have a look. No, absolutely bone dry. So it's not the brake that's leaking. Right, let's go underneath and check this diff out. I know it was weeping originally, but considering it was jacked up so high on one side, we need to see if it has actually leaked a significant amount of fluid. Let's have a look under here, what have we got? Okay, there you can see the rear diff is absolutely soaking. Pretty sure it's coming from the front, but I'm not entirely sure. But yet again, another job to add to the list. The list of jobs is getting bigger and bigger by the day. Right, I've also gone and bought some goodies for the Scimitar. I've gone and bought myself a new exhaust system, or at least the centre pipes back. We've got a set of new silencers and some cherry bomb style 3.5-inch outwardly rolled stainless steel back boxes. They're going to look awesome. Right, quite obviously this is not how they're going to be fitted. I've just literally slipped them over the original pipes because I want to start it up and see what this thing might sound like. Oh my god, fumes. Well, the exhaust will have to wait. I need to get all the other jobs sorted first and get this thing back on the road. Then we can start playing around with all the fancy bits. But until then, we'll put them in the back along with all the other crap that I seem to have accumulated in the boot. Well, that's it for this episode. On the next one, we're going to take a closer look and see why we've still got starting issues. But until next time, thanks for watching and a Merry Christmas.